Moon Day, everybody. Much love. Hope you all had a great weekend. I had a pretty busy week working out of town, so I thought I'd use this time off here today to make a video finally and catch up kind of on what's been going on here. As I made a video in the 33rd week of the year, and of course that was the top here, and then ever since then we've kind of dumped down here on Bitcoin and the whole market in general. As you can see on the weekly chart, we got this bearish yellow cross, 8 simple underneath a 200 simple. It's very bearish considering the fact that we couldn't keep closing candles above. We just got rejected back under this green line here. And under the yellow line, looking like this is just going to roll over and stay under this green line even. With this 55 simple still as a target for potential pump up, but maybe once it gets all the way down here, we'll hit it again and then die or something. But on the weekly chart here, I don't know if we're actually going to hit this. This looks pretty kind of out of reach, especially considering we have all this resistance that's going to be this whole area that we kind of traded with the bottom of the previous dumps here. So everything's pretty bearish here. Keeping in mind that Shemitah is ending at the end of September. We're entering September right now. Just had a new moon, which is time to sell, basically a top signal. How many days do we got here? 28 days until Shemitah. And so yeah, less than a month here, kind of coming up to the big energy that's about to hit us all. There's an eclipse in October and in November as well after the end of Shemitah, and just like how there's an eclipse in May, right here, big eclipse in May, which caused this crash. We had 2 eclipses here actually as well. Same cycle again, kind of repeating, this time end of Shemitah every 7 years. If you don't know what Shemitah is, basically every 7 years there's some kind of financial collapse that happens, and it's perfectly in time with this Hebrew holiday, the sabbatical year, the harvest. It means released. Shemitah means release, like literally the word, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, all these lower levels are gonna come into play here. If we take a look at Bitcoin on the macro time here, boom, 2017 top. We're kind of trading it, touching it right now, flirting with it. So that's a good spot for us to recover a little bit into these targets up here, but we're kind of running out of time. I feel like with what's kind of brewing, unless if this is like bottom forming and all this energy is going to bring us down this one more little swoop down here to this dotted line where you can see these perfect support here as well. Maybe we get one more swoop in that November eclipse or whatever down here. Like that would be a pretty significant swipe all the way to 12K or so, but 14, 15K, this kind of area, like take out a little bit more of this, pump up, like I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, is what I'm saying. And this yellow underneath this green shows that we're kind of in danger here. Because you can see we've never actually crossed below before on this weekly chart. The yellow's always bounced. This was the 2013 bottom. The yellow bounced off the green, bounced off the green, bounced off the green, and now we're getting into danger zone where the whole market's kind of overheated a little bit, and the yellow is underneath the green, and price is now using green as resistance for the first time ever, basically. So technically this chart looks like terrible. Like we could drop all the way down here pretty easily after, just kind of sliding down or something, but everyone is super bullish on crypto in the long term, but this chart just doesn't look good on the long term time frame here for Bitcoin. You can see this, the bi-weekly 200, which we were looking at before on the weekly, is around right in this top area too, like 13, 14. So it'll start kind of going up and then catching up, and maybe that's where we bounce from, which would look pretty bullish, obviously. So yeah, lots of room down for Bitcoin to go here. You can see on the daily chart, we're bearish here. We crossed under this 55. MACD is getting bearish territory, going down. RSI is oversold, but also approaching this resistance, this other EMA here. So we need to start closing above 22.3k, basically above this white line, to get back into bullish mode. And that's like 11% for now, which is not impossible for Bitcoin to do, but I would much rather favor it pumping up to 22k, pumping the 10% and getting rejected and falling down again, because we are approaching it. We just had a new moon, so it's like top time. We're approaching a full moon, middle of September, 13th or something like that, I think. And yeah, that'll be another bottom. Maybe we'll recover from that bottom into this, to the end of Shemitah here. Like if I show you, I've mentioned this before, but this red line is the start of Shemitah. You can see big red candle, 11% down right on that day. That was the top. So who's to say that this won't be another perfect top signal just to sell and get out before the bigger correction starts. So yeah, we just had a pretty significant dump, 20%. That is pretty big for Bitcoin. We are oversold, could get a relief here, but full moon is coming, so any relief up to here, like this 22k, I'd probably just de-risk there or start looking for short entries there, and then going into this full moon basically, and then from the full moon we'll kind of see what happens. But I would be going long. Maybe we dump down here to like 18.8 or whatever, kind of recover and then come back down. Yeah. It's gonna take a look here. Yeah, you can see on the 4-hour chart. Goes down under, moving averages all crossing bad. Trade into the moving average, boom, get dumped down. Kind of going up to the moving average again here on the 4-hour. 8-hour looking bad. You can see the yellows under the green. Soon this white's gonna start crossing green. Yeah, 1-hour clear double moving average rejection here. Nice little fake pump up and then dump. Crazy. Now we're kind of starting to form this little bottom on the 1-hour. A little bit of a pump here today to start the week. Could be a fake out, or it could just be the start of a few days of kind of recovering these candles here. As if I take this Trader's Reality indicator, you can see these red candles here, red vector candles. So we could totally see a pump all the way up here to recover these, and then just dump down after that. Or, it doesn't have to go all the way, but all the way up to there basically, cover that candle. But you can see these 250, well, 200, I'm not sure what this white line is, a 200 EMA here, or SMA, also at 21k. So maybe we just hit to that 21k first and then kind of get rejected. I don't know, everything's pretty bullish or bearish right now, especially since we're entering a full moon area of time. Just gonna take a look at Sol here quick. Solana. Kind of just not looking good. Like everything else is just, we're ready to keep going down. This little pump up was nice, but we can see how long this took. This is a weekly chart, by the way. This pump up took 8 weeks, and then this dump down took 2 weeks. 35% just dump in 2 weeks. Right back down to this kind of level here. Still have room to go all the way down to like 20 just to tap this lower support area, which we could definitely hit this full moon even, just go all the way down to just, if things get really bad, that's literally what could happen here. And then all the way down here, yeah, like $13 or whatever, next kind of target, because just doesn't look good. Well, you can see this, we're holding this 888 fib here. Maybe do kind of make this little W here and then pump up right up here again and just complete this big head and shoulders. You can see one shoulder, boom, pump, and then another shoulder. We kind of hit the same golden pocket area, and then you roll down, yeah, all the way down. Just whatever happens, really. You can see on the 2-week chart we have this bad cross happening here on the very young Solana chart compared to Bitcoin's, obviously, but that's not good. So this fib is nice, but doesn't totally help. And yeah, now if I take this, you can see we could dump all the way down to like $5.56. Kind of coming back to this top if things get really bad for Shemitah. And you never know, they might shut down the markets and whatever. Like we've already seen the Solana network get shut down. You can't move any of your money on there or anything. If that happens again, these big dumps are gonna happen again. 80%. 80% from here is, yeah, another 80% dump is $6. So just be careful. It looks like the perfect shitstorm is about to start. The charts all look ready to die. They're gonna fake people out going up at some point, and then things are just gonna get really bad. It's just gonna get bad and bad and bad, like really fast and hard. But out of that bottom will come the best opportunity of your life. So just be ready for it. Don't be afraid or anything, just be aware. That's all, really. That's what I've been trying to say for this whole year, basically, ever since I got into NFTs and everything. Let's take a look at ETH on the weekly chart. You can see we're holding this green 200 pretty well. The yellow is still above. So it looks like on ETH we could easily pump to this white, another 70-80%, get a nice recovery maybe. This would go to like 2,500, yeah. I remember I had that level marked before. Kind of when we started, although. But yeah, you can see ETH is stronger than Bitcoin as well. And it kind of did dip down here a bit. But it's holding as 200. The yellow is still bouncing up. You can see if it starts closing these weeklies above this yellow line, we could ride this all the way to the end of Shemitah potentially. Nice pump up here to the bottom of this support. But yeah, like 2,500. This white line will be there. Could hit that white line or close to it one more time before rolling back down. Or it just can't hold above this yellow 8 SMA anymore, and then it just kind of flatlines here and just chops around in a sideways range before we die in November. This is a weekly chart though, so it won't look as that dramatic probably, but it could. Could pump, dump, or dump, pump, dump. Shit's gonna get crazy. Yeah, same thing with Solana, the 2-week chart just crossed below. Last time that happened, it didn't bounce. It pumped up one more time, hit the 55 dump, hit it again, and then the third time went up. So you can see it hit it once. We'll see if we hit it again. This is more reasonable than even the weekly chart. Just kind of keep getting stuck under this 55 for Ethereum here at like 20, 21, 2200 on the weekly chart. On the daily, you can see we're kind of in the tipping point here of this yellow crossing the white. RSI's, points trying to recover here from getting kind of oversold, but until we start, we need to start closing this 55 above it, because otherwise, yeah, this is just going to cross bearish, and then we're going to fall all the way back down to 1,200 here for ETH. Easy target. Easy target. 1250. Boom, the top of this clean channel here, and then lower target. Well, 1K. 1K could easily fall to that. And that is a pretty big move. 20% just to get down there, and then another 36% down. What are the low targets here for ETH? Yeah, this whole like 400, 500 area could easily get hit for ETH here. Damn. Yeah, everything's ready to just go down a lot. I'm telling you, Bitcoin's gonna go down. Like, why wouldn't it go all the way to 12K? Why wouldn't it? XRP all the way back down to like 17, 18 cents here. Like, damn, it could even like just completely die. Basically all these charts, like on the long term, they're all overheated. They've all only been pumping. And then now this, like, we're getting this crazy time in the world with technology and everything that it just kind of makes sense. Everything's just coming together in like a perfect storm. So yeah, Shemitah's coming up. Be careful, basically. Everything looks pretty dead and bearish, and doesn't seem to be a significant recovery coming. Any pump up to these last kind of resistance areas is chance to short, chance to de-risk and get out slowly. And then any of these dumps down to these lower support areas, like for SOL, if we hit 20 bucks, it'll probably bounce from there, bounce all the way to whatever. It could bounce to 25 pretty quick from 20. So if you see 20, you might as well buy it and just try to take some kind of quick profit, because yeah, it could be quick. It could pump to 25, 30 again, and then just dump all the way down again, like really fast. So I don't know. We'll see. Everything's beat up though, so wouldn't be surprised if we kept pumping here a little bit before the full moon even. Entering the September month, the sept equals 7, not 9. Like they tell us it's the 9th month, but yeah. So it's gonna be big. Lots of big energy coming into the market. Don't be afraid, really. Just kind of wait. Take a deep breath and don't get too caught up in the emotions that other people are riding in this market, because nobody knows about Shemitah, and they're not going to expect the worst. They think this is already like the worst, but the worst is yet to come. And look at what's happened already. Like, this is just a big water slide that's waiting to happen. Bitcoin under 10K, like, I don't know. But yeah, just be safe, get ready for the opportunity of your life, because it's coming. I can smell it. Much love, fam. Have a great rest of your week. Peace.